Hi everyone, I thought I'd do something different today by showing you how I make my rig-based cartoons. Now, this is especially funny in the wake of Adobe announcing that they are shutting down Animate in a month. We'll see if that changes, but that's currently what their plan is, that they will no longer be selling it after March 1st, and then support will end for individuals in 2027 and for enterprises in 2029. It's a whole stupid thing. Maybe I'll do a video about that another time. I thought I would show you how I make my rig-based cartoons, because first I'd like to show you sort of why I use Flash or Animate rather than Toon Boom or Moho or etc. Also, I just think it'd be interesting for people who don't know. I do it a little bit differently than some other rig stuff. This is a technique that I learned, well, not technique, but this is a practice that I have learned back in the 2000s, and it has always felt like the most right to me. So I've got Lemurian here, and I will go into his rig in a second. I've also got an episode of Deadly Space Action to go into to demonstrate, and I've also got an episode of Bonus Stage, the 20th anniversary special. So let's first go into Lemurian here, and I will go ahead and show you that we've got a whole bunch of layers here that I cannot resize for the moment for some reason, but they got names of like Lemurian arm, etc. I separate it out like that, and if you go into the arm, you'll notice that I've got some arm bends. Now, the reason for me doing these as all original drawings, and it depends on the rig, because if it's simpler, like a noodle arm style, sometimes you can kind of get away with shape tweens to make the bends, but usually I prefer to draw each individual bend. The reason for this is because it's not like my cartoons don't look like rig-based cartoons. They do look like rig cartoons, but they do look a little more like authentically cartoony when you have actual drawings that you're switching between, rather than taking a single drawing of an arm and then IK rigging a skeleton out of the drawing to then like warp it and distort it to make your additional keyframes. So if you go into the head, yeah. For in this particular character's case, the entire head and hair is its own layer. That's not always the case. For this one, it was easy because just based off of how things are layered, I didn't have to separate it out. If you go into the head layer, I've got all the mouth symbols for the different phonemes. First is sort of the positive phonemes, and then I have the negative phonemes. So I've got closed mouth, A, slightly less A, E and I, slightly less E and I, and then I've got T, H, L, and then for him, Lemurian, I have two different S, T, etc. Closed mouth shapes. I don't always do this, but because he's got more of like a grandiose style, I like to speak royally sometimes. I sometimes give him like a bigger shit-eating grin for that phoneme. And other times, if there's like a s, like if he's gonna say like s, like lead in, then I will use this smaller one. And sometimes you just alternate to avoid the machine gun effect. Then I've got f, and I've got a couple for R and O. And I then do the same exact thing for the negative expressions. And then sometimes what I do, if I intend on making like new lip sync, I will copy just the head frames, not the mouth frames. Go ahead and increase the frames here. And so now you've just got like the chin positions, the jaw positions, for those, and I already know which each one is. So when I want to draw funnier or more distinct mouth position for a particular line of dialogue, I'll have all the chin positions already kind of locked and loaded. And of course, this is all laid out, layered, so the pupils can adjust. The eyebrows cover up the eyes. Sometimes, depending on the type of eyes and the type of eyebrows, I will have a sort of a skin coloration as a part of the eyebrow layer, so I can bring it down and cover up the eyes. Usually with like eye blinks, I just tend to do that manually. I'll just draw them in. So here is Orton. I don't have the hand layer in here, but it's pretty much a similar situation. If you go into the arms, you can see I've got a whole bunch of arm bends that I've drawn out. And if you go into the head layer, again, I've got like a layer for the mouth positions and a layer for the chin. All right, so here's one that was made using shape tweens, because this character has like a more like flowing, bellowing out sleeve. So I thought I would be able to sort of get away with a shape tween. Now, the benefit to doing a shape tween, and I had to do it multiple times for like, you can't just have keyframe here, and then shape tween, because it will look terrible. Let me demonstrate that now. Whoops. Let me demonstrate that. If you were to try to do a shape tween from here and here, it's not going to understand. So I did have to do some drawings of various positions, basically like here, 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 and then I could use the shape tween to go in between those. The benefit, like I said, you get a much smoother range of motion, so you can have more nuanced acting from the arms, but it does look a little more digital. It does look a bit more like a Toon Boom production where you've just warped the drawing. So that's why I tend to prefer drawing each bend myself for each keyframe rather than doing the shape tween style. I don't really use leg bends that often. I will usually just redraw legs in different positions. When I worked on Kappa Mikey back in 2006, they had not just arm bends and leg bends, but they also had torso bends. And my experience working on the show with that rig is that I almost never used the torso bends. I just redrew the torso. It's about what makes sense to reuse and what doesn't make sense in a shot. So it's not going to make sense to have reusable torso bends because someone's bending over, they may be bending for a specific reason. They may be reaching out to grab an object. And so, the height and elevation of that object is going to be different, for each different like context. So I don't worry about that too much. I'll now go into a shot of Deadly Space Action to show you. So this is from one of the bonus odes. So, this is all lip synced to a line. Usually what I'll do is I will place the specific line in the head symbol after duplicating it and naming it after that specific shot. In bonus odes for Deadly Space Action, everything was contained within one file, so it was just named for the different shots. If there were multiple files to an episode, I would name it like Orton Head 3/4 Scene 1 _ shot 15, Scene 2 shot 34, or whatever. But since this is all one file, I just have to worry about the just naming it for shots. If I find a phoneme that's like he's saying like s here in this frame, I would create a keyframe. I would put in 11, and there you go. And I would just do that. I would just kind of be like, click this type, click keyframe this type, and I would just go through that slowly, bit by bit, doing the lip sync. That's always been the fastest way for me. Animate has added a frame picker. Something that Adobe does is they would see popular plugins in the community and then they would just integrate them themselves. And they're like, the frame picker was like a popular plugin for Flash animators in the days of CS4. I never really cared for like clicking on the individual image of I already know what frame it is, so I'm just going to type it in. And the same goes for arm positions. So he's going to raise his arm up to do the very stereotypical cartoon palm here. I know already that Orton's only got 15 arm bends. And so like I know that if it's going to go all the way up like that, it's probably going to be 14 or 15. If it's going to stretch out, it's going to probably be like 8. And I will bring it up like this. I should also mention that some characters have like unique situations for their sculpting. So like for this rig, Orton's got like an extended sort of shoulder here. Sometimes I will use one arm library for both arms. So in this case, like I think in this episode, I probably like duplicated this arm and mirrored it. The problem with that obviously is that if you go to like an extended stretch like this, then it doesn't really work anymore because it becomes sort of disconnected. And one thing you can do is adjust the torso to stretch out to accommodate that, and then you'd probably want to break the symbol and stretch this out a little bit more. Since it's like on its own keyframe, it's not gonna fuck anything up majorly for the whole production. Let's go check out Julie's rig here. I have started to do more. I would say it's similar to like Mercury Filmworks' animation spacing. The idea is that if I were to draw it out here, if we have our keyframe here and our keyframe here, in the days of Deadly Space Action, the middle keyframe would be like directly in the middle between the positions. Nowadays, I tend to put my keyframe here to the left, and how far to the left depends on how grand the motion is. Having it here still allows me to have a proper in between and not skip it, while still having my settles and my anticipations like this. That's another reason that you want to have more arm bends, and so this is one that does have, a fuller range of shape tweens. And I did not like convert to keyframes. So you can see that I didn't use that many positions to shape tween between from more like noodle arm style. I did have to make a couple of adjustments because again, it's not perfect. And sometimes it'll just completely fuck up a shape tween and I'll have to like keyframe by keyframe fix it. Yeah, so those are the arm bends, and having that smoothness does make it easier to do these more subtle settlings. So let's see, this one is single frame 38 and then single frame 39. For the anniversary, I've got a hand library. You can see that it's got all sorts of hand positions. The most common ones that I would need to use, and different closed fists from different angles. This one I think is usually for like when the arm is down at the side. So obviously you can't really do any kind of like tween tomfoolery with hands. You just kind of draw them based on when you need them. Historically in the past, I started a hand library with just a few poses, and then with each episode, I'd add more and more to the library. In this case, for the 20th anniversary, I just built as many as I could think of before production, and then once I was in the episode, if I needed another hand, I would just, draw it straight on, which is a benefit, in Flash, since what you see is what you get with this style of program. I can just throw down a drawing really quick. And again, if you were to go into Julie's head, you'll see that it's got mouth positions along with chin positions. It's the same situation with Phil. I think if I were to go in here, here's his arm. Again, I just use the shape tween. It's unrealistic as hell because like this is not really how an arm bends at all. It like morphs between positions more than it actually bends. But I was able to get away with it by not using too many positions. Again, this was a one-time special. I didn't know whether I was going to be doing any more episodes. Okay, so Flash did stay frozen and I had to force exit out of it. This is one of the problems with the CS suite. Yes, it's permanent, but it crashes a lot more than Animate does. Even though, like, by the end of Animate, I don't even know how many people were still working on the software. It got so much more stable over the course of Animate. It only took them 20 fucking years to get Flash into a stable state. So with CS6, CS5, CS4, sometimes, the program will freeze and you just don't know if you're going to lose hours of work or not. Now they have like auto recovery things, as you saw, but that it froze in the auto recovery process. So like, this is what one of the things we're losing by losing Animate is that stability, and now we're on shakier software. So yeah, that's kind of a look at how my rigged cartoons are made. This is how I've done this for Deadly Space Action, the Puzzle Hunters, the new bonus stage remastered episodes, Sweet and Sour, etc. It's probably what I'm just going to always do. For me, this is sort of the Goldilocks in the middle spot between efficient and traditional. I don't want to go all the way efficient. I don't want to do tweens. I don't want to do that old Spumco like squashing and squishing one drawing and then cutting to the next drawing, squashing and squishing. But at the same time, I can't do full traditional hand drawn animation either, because it would take way too long, especially for bonus stage remastered. I've got dozens of episodes to go through. I'm only going to be able to get 1 or 2 out a month. So this is the process by which I've been able to do this for as long as I have. If you have a Patreon subscription, there is a tier where you can get my Flash files. It just did this auto recovery thing again. Oh my gosh. And you'll be able to poke around in files just like this one. If you wanted to make, a fan cartoon, or if you just wanted to take inspiration from it, kind of learn my timing and spacing, see how I build my characters, what I choose to build libraries for, and what I choose to just do on the fly. And maybe I'll see some cool rigged-based cartoons from you. Probably not in Animate. Thanks, Adobe. So anyway, that's everything, and to show you how my rigs look in action, here are a couple cartoons from my back catalog.
Don't forget, tomorrow.
Oh, right! Happy birthday, man.
What? I'm having a barbecue.
A B-Day BBQ, huh?
It's not my birthday.
43, right? 44? 45? I'm just gonna keep climbing.
If you come with a gift, I will break it.
Oh man, don't hold out. Puff and pass, man. Puff and pass.
This is a pencil.
So, hey, I got the grill fixed for tomorrow's party. It doesn't even have problems anymore now.
The grill's fine. We used it yesterday to cook internet burgers. What'd you get?
I got an ad butter.
Email.
Angel fire.
Email.
Well, you don't have to worry because nothing's wrong.
Are you drunk?
Come on. A little.
Who's ready to gur it to the max? Let's fire up the grill and make some— Shut up! Orton, why? Why do you have lungs to propel noise?
Just cook the damn hot dogs.
And away we go!
What the hell is going on?
We're in a time vortex and about to be ripped apart. This isn't good. What's with you?
It's just time travel, no offense.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't need working hips anyway.
Yar! I be Gregarian, the Sea Barbarian!
Kill me!
Do you need a website design?
Wow, this looks great! How do I use a computer?
I did it! Nothing, that is.
Man, Voxicon 3 is one crazy planet in the 1960s. There were beetles singing and monkeys singing. I think they were called the Beetle and Monkey Wind Ensemble.
You don't want to know where I was. Suffice it to say, I was the only girl. You! You screwed with the grill, didn't you? I just wanted to make hot dogs faster. I figured I could make the grill send them back in time to myself. That's actually pretty cool. But still! You're not a real mechanic, are you? I am in my heart, and that's all that matters. Alright, then name these tools. Oh, Sage. Mechanics don't use those things. Those are probably not even real. Is she right?
Why do you keep a drawing of random tools?
So, ready to conquer the sea?
Conquer the sea? Yeah! You're the first human I've met in 20 years!
You mean...
Yep, just you and me, drifting off into eternity. And the wife, of course. No! Roberta! I told you I'm with company!
It worked! He's back!
Meh! And you're just in time to celebrate my birthday!
Really? 'Cause
No!
And now, the moment I've all been waiting for. Now I'm going to have to clean that up.
I can't believe you actually opened this store.
It's amazing what one can do when they apply themselves.
For a loan? For a loan, right? I'm just saying, because 6 months from now you'll be applying yourself for Chapter 11.
There's something in the ceilings, and it's probably a squirrel, but I think it's a dragon.
That's where they like to hide.
You have read my book.
Yeah, we need to work on your editing.
You guys won't be laughing when I'm franchising these babies across the country. See, here comes my first customer.
Are you guys open?
And there he goes!
He took off like Alex Trebek from a hotel.
Foolish three-dimensionals! Witness the power of Hanoi!
No! It's as efficient as it is impractical!
It's the Stacker Hacker!
He combined his two loves into a trochaic pair! We weren't meant to play God like this!
Stay back, puzzle hunters, or I'll sign your will!
I already signed my will. I'm leaving you my Sega 32X.
That's so sweet! I'll play Tempo every day.
Can we do something about this guy before his demo scene antics destroy my store?
What do I get out of it?
Seriously? Okay, I'll get you that puppy you've been glued to at that lousy pet store.
All pets are off?
Too expensive.
I'm gonna pet you, pet you, pet you, pet you?
Too far away.
When Pet Baby flies, she flies up there forever?
I think you made that one up.
Alright, fine. Lasso attack!
From now on, you'll be going to a different kind of assembly.
Is it prison? It's prison. Go ahead, say it.
Prison.
So I'm thinking of naming my dog Jacob.